NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. It's time for one of our award-winning mailbag editions of the show, where you guys send in questions to us using the hashtag NFL or super chatting. We react to them live on the program. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with our questions this week. First question in the mailbag comes from Kyle. Kyle wants to know who's the best possible wide receiver the Falcons could bring in to help Ridder develop and help the receiver room via trade or free agency. I got to tell you, the Falcons, their receiver situation, I think Kyle Pitts is going to take a step, a huge step this year, where that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But one guy I'm sure we're going to be talking about a lot today, Mike Evans, is going to be on the minds of people. He's not really, I would consider, a potential possibility for the Falcons due to being in the same division there. But looking at free agency, I think Jarvis Landry is still out there right now, trying to find a home potentially. There's some names out there for Desmond Ridder to find that other potential weapon. We'll see what they do. Dustin writes in, should the Cowboys sign Peterson and Risner in free agency to help our offensive line? You know, there's some big question marks on the offensive line for the Dallas Cowboys, and I am shocked that Dalton Risner is still available at this point. I thought he was going to be signed all the way back in March. He's a starting caliber guard, and I thought he was just fine with the Denver Broncos, in all honesty. With that said, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, what I would do, I want to see what you bring to the table first. Let's see the product that they put out there against the New York Football Giants. And if they need to make a change, evaluate after this week or next and see how you look on that front. XD Gamer 22 writes, will the Seahawks trade Tyler Lockett? No, they will not. That is not happening. Not anytime soon anyway. I mean, Tyler Lockett's going to be around, I think, with the Seattle Seahawks for at least another 2 seasons, maybe 3. Eventually, we will see him get replaced by Jaxon Smith-Njigba, and JSN will be the counterpart to DK Metcalf, but Tyler Lockett's locked up for a while. His contract is not terrible, in all honesty, compared to other wide receivers of his caliber and what he's making, and he's been consistently good, underrated. Tyler Lockett's staying in Seattle for the foreseeable future. Sad Dabo Sweeney. That's funny. That's a good one. Dabo's probably very sad after the pathetic performance that we saw out of Clemson on Monday night against Duke. Is there any way the Ravens could trade for Mike Evans? So you look at the Baltimore Ravens, and we got the injury news today on OBJ with the ankle injury. Doesn't sound like it's that serious, but it is something to monitor anyway. You bring Rashad Bateman back. You got Zay Flowers, who looks like all that in a bag of chips. And then Nelson Aguilar had a good offseason and is expected to be a very good number 4 receiver. Might be as good as any number 4 receiver in the NFL, realistically. The Ravens, of potential moves they could make, I know they've talked about maybe adding another pass rusher potentially. I don't think another receiver is high on their list unless there are injuries. If we see OBJ out for an extended period of time, or if something were to happen to Rashad Bateman again, whatever it may be, and the Ravens are in contention, then potentially they could trade. They could look at Mike Evans maybe at the deadline if they're not all put together, if the injuries catch up to him. But at this moment, though, I don't see there being any interest in Mike Evans, at least right now. Will the Buccaneers trade away Mike Evans? That's the question that we want to know. Comment and chime in. Y for yes, N for no. Is Mike Evans going to stay in Tampa Bay or not? Let us know what you think in the comments section on this possibility. Y for yes, N for no. D writes in, who is your surprise Week 1 winner? Very good question. I'm very intrigued about Week 1 in the National Football League this week and these games that are going on. And as I look at the slate and pull it up in real time, folks, I think the surprise winner of some sorts that I got my attention on, I would say look out for the team that we just talked about. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers very well could beat the Minnesota Vikings. I am out on the Minnesota Vikings this year. I think that defense is atrocious. I think they got very lucky in a lot of games last year. I'm a believer in Baker Mayfield. I think Baker is going to have a very good season this year. Mike Evans is there. Chris Godwin. They got a good receiving core. I think that the Buccaneers could go into Minnesota and shock the world and beat the Vikings. That's the team I'm watching for. Don't sleep on the Bucs to get it done against Minnesota. Daniel writes in, Aaron Donald to the Cowboys for 2 seconds. Could this happen, and would the Rams do it since they're going into a fire sale? Potentially. I think that when we get to the trade deadline, depending on where the Rams are at, and I don't think the Rams are going to be that good. I think they'll be better than what they were last year, but I don't think the Rams are going to be a contending team. And we get to the trade deadline, could be a fire sale. You could see Aaron Donald gone. You could see Matt Stafford gone. You could see Cooper Kupp potentially traded. They could move on from everybody when we get to that point. The Cowboys would be a possibility. I wouldn't rule out the Cowboys as a potential chance. I think there's going to be a lot of teams that would be interested in making a move for Aaron Donald if he's available there. We have a sale for you that you got to check out. With the start of the NFL season here, your favorite team has a number of rookies on the roster now. And what we're doing at chatsports.com/NFL jersey is selling all those rookie jerseys. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a great time to buy a rookie jersey because you get it for the very beginning of these guys' careers. And in theory, when they're a star in your favorite team, you have that jersey for the entire time they're there and beyond. So what are you waiting for? Get these now at chatsports.com/NFL jersey. They look great. You look good. You feel good. You play good. Get yours. Represent your favorite rookie. Maybe you don't have an NFL team and you're a college fan and want to represent like Bijan Robinson if you're a UT guy. Get this jersey now. Chatsports.com/NFL jersey. Check out our whole collection there at chatsports.com/NFL jersey. All right. GM Evan asking for fantasy advice. Start Sam Laporta or Kyle Pitts. I'm telling you, I am buying into Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is going to take a huge step and be one of the better tight ends in the National Football League. Kyle Pitts has got my attention there. We'll see what he can put together. But I'm telling you, buy the stock in a Kyle Pitts right now. Next question comes in from XD Gamer. XD Gamer wants to know, can Levante David be on his way out? He very well could be. We could see him potentially move on elsewhere. I think that's a possibility. There'll be something to monitor, especially get closer to that deadline to see if he gets moved. He'll be a player to watch on that front. XD Gamer, thanks for the question there. Time for a couple more questions. Let's go to Dustin, who writes, should the Cowboys trade for C. Jones? I believe he's referring to Chandler Jones there. And Chandler Jones, what a wild, bizarre situation with the Las Vegas Raiders this week, posting on Instagram, then deleting on Instagram that he doesn't want to be there. And the Raiders sending, what was it, a personnel, medical staff to his house and all that. I think Chandler Jones would be a great fit for Dallas. I think Chandler Jones would be a great fit for a number of teams. But I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't concerned about Chandler Jones's mental health, because what we've seen the last couple of days has been very sporadic and it's concerning. So that's something to monitor if you're going to take a chance with Chandler Jones. Is that regard there, taking on potential things to watch with that mental health side. One more question, I believe. Final one from T. Swift is tough with Belichick there. Ain't that the truth? Belichick loves Taylor Swift. She's a tough cookie. Will the Ravens trade Patrick Queen? So that is a fascinating question, T. Swift is tough, because I was convinced, a few months ago that they would probably move on from Patrick Queen if they didn't get a deal done, which they did not get a deal done, and move forward with Trenton Simpson. But two things happened. And I will fully admit I was wrong. But two things have changed since when I thought they were going to trade him. One of those is that Patrick Queen, despite throwing shade and complaining about them drafting Trenton Simpson and his contract situation and all that, he showed up to work, he put his head down, and got the job done. And so Patrick Queen has changed his attitude, and he's gone the right way. So that's certainly helped, and Patrick Queen is all in on this year. And then the number two thing that happened with Patrick Queen was that Trenton Simpson is not quite ready for prime time yet. He's still developing. They need Patrick Queen. So I don't see Patrick Queen getting traded at this point. What are the chances the Ravens trade Patrick Queen? Scale it for me in the comment section of 1 through 10. I'd give it a low number. I'd give it about a 2 or 3. I think he's back, and I think he's going to get a long-term deal. Subscribe to the channel for more NFL coverage. We got you covered each and every day on NFL Daily by Chat Sports. We'll see you next time.